Welcome, one and all, to the KOE Nation Knife Reviews. Just like so many of you folks, I am on the never-ending journey to find that perfect blade. We're going to grade every blade on a 5-star scale as a tool, as a self-defense implement, and as a knife overall. Also, would we replace this knife if we lost it, and should you add it to your collection? Most important of all, without further ado, let's get to this knife review.
Welcome, one and all, to the KOE Nation for this very special, long time coming review of the Cold Steel Katana Machete. Yes, folks, I am your King of Extreme, Phil KOE, the man of the hour, the man with the power, the man that makes the other podcast cower. You can, of course, find me at KOE Nation on YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, Twitter, and this is our review here, folks, of the Cold Steel Katana Machete. Excellent, excellent. That was just a little demonstration. I just could have gone more force on that and probably would have made a more precise cut, but just wanted to show this is the real deal. You can use it, you can abuse it, you can have fun with it in the backyard, if you will. You can go wherever you want with it. It's what I like about it, and what I say, this is really all the katana you need, to be frank. This is more katana than most of you will ever need. You don't want to put all of the exacting maintenance that you have to put into a katana. What you want is something that's shaped like a katana that you can go in the backyard and... yeah, that's why the sunglasses of extreme had to come on, folks. But that's what you want this for, is to have fun with it like this. Out in the middle of the woods, chopping some branches, chopping some sticks, having fun with friends. I can't say enough about how much fun this is for $45, which is generally what these are going to cost. Like on Amazon, they're $45 to about. Sometimes they're closer to 60, like they're in the mid-50s, usually about $45, these Cold Steel Katana Machetes. And most of their Cold Steel tactical machetes, if you will, they're actually very reasonably priced, which is why I think where these truly shine is a gift for that person in your life that has everything. Okay, this is excellent, excellent gift for, well, okay, friend of mine's really into like the old cavalry and they're like a Civil War buff or something. They've got a machete that's just, oh, I thought someone was coming. They have a machete that's very much like a cavalry saber. So this one shaped like a katana. They've got others. They've got wakizashi. They've got gladius. They've got Tai machete. In fact, this is the wakizashi full review coming soon. But just as a comparison, and the steels are the same, honestly. There you are. Here's a fairly decent comparison between these two. This one's actually actually quite handy. I will be honest. This one, there's some heft. We'll get into that. This is not going to be a light sword if you're thinking you can just, you can do some one-handed maneuvering, but it's going to require you having a good grip on it generally to really do what it's designed to do. Now, it's designed as a two-handed sword. Now, I use the term sword a little loosely, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean, folks. So now we get to the difficult part, the grading. We're going to grade this as a sword. We're going to grade it as a machete. We're going to grade it as a tool. We're going to grade it for self-defense. And then, would I replace this if I were to lose it? And should you add this to your collection? Two very different questions. So on a 5-star scale, as a sword, considering how well the steel is constructed, if you're to go back in time to feudal Japan and drop this in somebody's, they'd be like, I don't need another sword for the rest of my life. You drop this in medieval Europe, this thing would be passed down for generation to generation because the steel quality and just the way that this, like, I think it's like some sort of polypropylene or something like that. Like this handle here, I mean, this handle is going to be attached to this blade till kingdom come unless you melt it off for some reason. Okay, like this is not coming apart. Like this will be sturdy. Like if your problem with swords in past is the handguard rattling or things are just loose, you ain't going to have that problem here for 45 bucks. This is going to be the most durable sword you will ever have, truth be told. Like Cold Steel, it's like frustrated tank engineers are the people who make these things. So, truth be told, I think this would be an excellent addition. Now, as a machete, all right, honest to God, years ago, because I've had this thing for a long time and it was fun. I got it around COVID. It was very early 2020 I got this. This is my first stupid purchase. We all had a few, don't judge me. My late brother, he actually used this when we would go out roguing, and he would use, I'll demonstrate, but so you can hear it, he would use his golf swing to take out certain plants. So let's like that. He would use his golf swing to take out rogue plants. And so this particular, for 45 bucks, this gave me a cherished memory that I will always, keep right here. And so in terms of a machete, well, first of all, in terms of sword, I never gave it its proper grading as a sword. I'm going to give it 4 stars. 4 stars as a sword, even though it's technically not a sword. I get it, but 4 stars. You know what I mean. This would be punching way above its weight class just a few generations ago. In terms of a machete, I'm also going to give it 4 stars. Okay? It did its job as a machete. Now, as a tool, I have pretty much listed the uses. So this is going to get very poor marks as a tool. I'm going to give this 1 star as a tool. Okay? Like, if you're looking for a tool blade, come on. This would not be your first place to go. Honestly, if you're looking for a tool blade, like, this would be a better option, honestly, just because it's a little more wieldy. But, yeah, that's neither here nor there. Now, in terms of would I replace this if I were to lose it? Yes, because I've had now. The wind. Now, if I were to lose this, I'd be very upset because, like I said, I've had some very good memories with this particular blade. But yes, I would keep one of these in my collection. So, and should you get this? Absolutely. This is the K.O.E. Katana recommend. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and say, I know folks from Japan are just going to like they're going to almost want to puke in their mouths a little bit. I don't care. As it stands right now, the Katana of Extreme. Okay? This one, the steels that this is made out of. This will swing against any other sword in God's creation, especially the ones coming out of Japan.
This is not a katana. I know this is not. You don't need to correct me in telling me that it's not. But this is a machete made by Cold Steel. And it's in the shape of a katana. And it cost me about 50 bucks. As you can see, I've been beating it up. And as I usually tell folks, this is all the katana you actually need. For most of you. This is all you need. Just you want something you can swing into something. You can beat it up. It's made out of a very, very sturdy steel. So this thing can just take a licking and keep on ticking, and it's not going to shatter when you like smack it up against a tree or something. You're not going to treat a fucking real katana like this. And I say to most people, this is all you actually need in terms of katana, about 50 bucks worth. And these things, Cold Steel, they make a machete in almost every sword style except for broadsword. And it's kind of a good gift for people who have everything. It's a good gift for somebody you don't know what to get for. Bro, when it comes to real Japanese blades, you are almost better having an obsidian knife because it is a toss-up of which will shatter first. Yeah, because they're pieces of art and they're steel stuff. Like a Japanese samurai sword, katana, like that's how we call them here. I know you rolled your eyes at the very mention of that, but a katana, from everything I've seen, like a true blue katana, you need to maintain basically after every fifth cut. Like a machete like that, I can just you swing it through trees, and I've cut limbs with it, and I've actually hang on, because this also has a unique memory for me. One of the last afternoons my late brother and I spent together, about a year and a half, maybe a little more than that ago. Maybe it's 2 years by now, who knows? But we used this sword to go roguing out in the field. Roguing is when you see a bean field and there's a plant that shouldn't be there, you chop it out. And we used this to go roguing, and my brother used his golf swing with this to rogue out plants. And yeah, that was what we used this for, as a farm tool, as a machete, but because it was shaped like a katana, we used it a little differently, and I'll never forget him using his golf swing to take out some rogue plants. And so that's kind of what this is for. Like, all the weird recreational stuff you want to use a katana for, but don't really want to spend the scratch on a katana. That's what you definitely do. That's right. And one costs the same as a mid-sized car. Yeah, like a real, true, blue, actual, factual katana, not like even just like a very good reproduction. Yeah, and like what's weird is this uses the same steel that Cold Steel uses for all of its heavy duty, like even its katana swords. But this is just like I always say, this is all the katana you actually need, okay, for most people in the world. Let's see. No, Japanese steel is extremely brittle due to like 5 times the carbon use in the forging process. It has a razor. Yeah, it's beautiful. Like you're gonna have a razor blade that's a couple feet long for a couple of cuts, and then you have to maintain it immediately. With this, it's just low maintenance. It's kind of like the difference between an AR-15 and a bolt-action rifle in the same caliber. Sure, you don't have the same rate of fire, but you also don't have the same maintenance neither. So, Desperado, do you know why the emphasis, the cut with a single strike over crossing blades? Yeah, like even Europe, like crossing a blade happens so rarely in actual combat. Like there's actually a really good book I had that I learned a couple of interesting things from. It's called Zur-Kane, which is an Iranian martial art which emphasizes mixing sword fighting and wrestling, which I found like okay. And like that kind of works with stick fighting, because like on the farm there's always a broomstick, there's always a stick within 2 or 3 feet of you. So knowing how to do stick fighting is like, if you don't know that, you're like somebody's gonna pick up a stick and swing it at your head.
So until I get a sword in my hands that can top this, the Cold Steel Katana Machete is the katana of extreme. Now folks, as I'm known to say around here, I get to all that being said, I'm having too much fun out here. That has been this review of the Cold Steel Katana Machete. God bless all y'all. Travel well.